Hello and welcome back to Transport Fever 2. We're in Switzerland and we have a train that is currently stopped on purpose. Why is that? Well, there's been a few comments, I should say, regarding, in fact, we're going to bring up the UI. There's not going to be much of an intro today, you'll be pleased to know, for those that don't care for an intro. Yes, this number here. Oh, it's Robbie. Of course it's Robbie. Robbie's the only coal train at the moment. But this number down here, and I dismissed it, possibly incorrectly, that these numbers don't actually mean a lot. A little like this number here. That means nothing, really. You can't really take anything from that. You can safely ignore it. The same seems to apply for this one. That's what I've been told. Now, originally I dismissed it because I thought I've seen trains slow to a crawl on slopes, and then it dawned on me that might have been Railway Empire, as they definitely do in that game. Which got me thinking, maybe we should test that theory. And we have a big train. We've got a bit of money in the bank. I've paused the date because we're going to be messing around with this a little bit, only at the start, and then we'll keep going once we know. I feel like it's a good idea for this series and going forward for future series, where we may have money enabled, because it's been a lot of fun, I will say, having to watch the bank balance. Yeah, so going forward, it'd be good to know exactly if these numbers mean anything. What should we take from them? Are they accurate? Well, shall we find out? I mean, it's a little bit of a myth-busting, fact-finding episode to start with. The first thing we want to do to make this a fair race, as it were, it's not much of a race. We could do a bit of a drag race at some point, but for now, I think we can work it out with a single train and bring it back and forward to the station. We have a grade here. I would like to say that the way I see grades would be like this. So we've got our three figures here. Let's just go back here. We have flat, medium, high. And then we have 3 points on the fixed slope here. If we raise it, I would assume that would be medium and the maximum would be high. Bear that in mind. It might work. It might work. This would be medium. I think that's all we went up with there. So these power ratings should align with a medium slope. What we want to do though is manage this vehicle, and we're going to single head it. That's it. And we're also going to throw a few more wagons on there, because why not? The idea is I want this to go to pour. Like I said, it's a test. Apparently it's never going to pour. It's going to cost us a bit for this test, isn't it? Good night, that can't be correct. Seriously? There we go, pour. Not enough power for high. Obviously these numbers don't mean much. It's nearly a kilometre long. Should we do it? Kilometre long. There we go. Not enough power. We'll modify that, spend a fortune. It's going to be a ridiculously long train. Admittedly, it's concertinaed at the end there. But let's take a look at the details now. Pour. It does not have enough power, this is what we wanted to see, to get up a medium slope, which is roughly what this is. Now, before we do this, I would argue that the entire train is not always on the slope. It's level at the bottom. We're not going to fit a 1 kilometre train on this entire loop here. However, there's some other tests that I've done prior to this that will prove whatever point this is that I'm trying to make, but we're doing it. The slope goes up to this point and then it levels out. Either way, it should struggle, right? That's the plan. That's the plan. This is what we've got to prove today. So then, Robbie, who's looking a bit broken at the moment, load away. We're going to have to wait a little bit, so we're going to fast forward it. This is why I've got the date paused, because we're going to be messing with this coal train. What's the weight? Well over 2,000 tons now. We may need to leave it on fast forward, depending. He might not even make it. I'm hoping he doesn't. Otherwise, we've got more numbers that the game presents us that mean not a lot. Right, we're off. Well, he's moving, which, according to his stats, he should be able to. It should take 8 minutes to get up to full speed. We are limited speed-wise on here. You can't go any faster than 53 kilometers an hour. Let's just check. Yeah, 53 kilometers an hour. He is making it up the slope. He's up to 20 kilometers an hour. Let's just double check these ratings. Not enough power for a medium grade. So the only thing I can draw from this conclusion is that either this is not a medium grade or these numbers are pointless. I'm sure they mean something. Right, there's the end of our track, the actual end of our track. That's impressive though, isn't it? Look at that. Oh, it looks... I could sit and watch that for a while. Here we go, let's get it all in view. In fact, let's hide this, gubbins. Yes. Is that's just pleasing. I don't know why. But look at that. That's an impressive train. This one loco is doing it. Yes, it's dropped a bit of speed, which suggests that it does take into consideration how much of the train is on the slope, which is almost all of it. And it is dropping speed. It is dropping speed. Okay. No, it is losing speed. Right, the only way we can really do that then is to build us a line from here that just continues up at the same grade. That's the only way I can see that. Maximum grade, perhaps? The only problem I see is we can't get him back into the station. He is losing it though. Well, he's kind of stabilized at 15 kilometers an hour, but that's because this section of the train is now off the grade, as it were. Yeah. But that's impressive. That one little train can pull all of this. Well. Okay. That hasn't really told us anything then, has it? Well, it kind of has. It's told us that providing the entire train isn't on the grade, you can get away with a lot more than that report. And you could almost take it as flat. So building your routes, you could certainly make sure there are flat sections for it to level out and maintain a speed. It's picking up speed again as more and more of it is on a flat grade now. Yes, it's impressive though. I do like it. Regardless of whether this is extremely non-scientific, it looks impressive. Right, well, he's speeding up. He made it up there. What do we want to do then? Well, one thing we could do is extend the station. I think that's a good idea. If we extend this to its maximum, which is there, we get a bit more room to play with. I think what we're going to have to do with this to get it up to maximum, because of the way our line curls around and isn't as the crow flies, which we could do. I said at the beginning I would love this to be fairly realistic and seem like it would be there in real life. So drawing straight lines from here to here, although in a gaming sense would be very profitable and ideal, not realistic really for somewhere like this deep in the mountains. Anyway, right, yes, that's not going to help our test, is it? We need to cut this back. I'm going to extend this up as well. We're going to tidy all this up. This section I do want to have maximum platform length regardless. This is an upgrade that I was going to do, but then got me thinking about what people have been saying. We can only go 2 this way, that's fine. Cargo buildings. That's its maximum size without mods. And then we want this section to be straight and flat coming out of there. Right, so back to our theory. I think we're going to need 2 trains on here. What sort of rate would it be with that train, this setup we've got? I mean, it's going to bog down our lines a bit. 0. 0, apparently, because it can't make it. Well, okay, maybe we should let this go and make us some cash, and we'll look at the line rates. That might be an idea. I mean, it's a monster, isn't it? It's an absolute monster. It's not ideal, but I am super surprised that a single train like this can pull this sort of weight and keep moving. Well, actually, here's a good... No, do we need the money? We don't really. Let's flip this. we're going to send it back to the station. We're going to fast forward it. Remember what I said about tractive effort playing a big part? How about we now change this loco for one of those express trains? I like that. So we'll a little bit of editing until we're into the station. Okay, we're approaching the station. We're going to quickly pause it, manage this vehicle. We're going to get rid of the... Which one is this first before I remove it? I believe it's this one. Yes, it's this one. So 60 kilometers an hour top speed, 1.1k power, and then 202 kilonewtons tractive effort. This is what we should test. This one, it has about 200 kilowatts more power and a lot less tractive effort. So this is the test. This is the test. Same load, same train, full capacity. We've changed it over to this one. Again, not enough power, not enough power. Look how it manages the flat track though. That seems to be a bit quicker. You're back in, you're going to turn around and flip, and you're going to be probably halfway up there. That's not a fair comparison, but it shouldn't get up there, should it? But it is, obviously, getting up here. I think I'm tempted today to, we'll fast forward it because we know it's moving. But what sort of speed once it gets going? It should get up to what, about 19 kilometers? No, 20, wasn't it? The last one. It should struggle a little. Depends if it loses speed up here like the other one did, right? It started losing speed because of its power, I'd imagine. It's keeping its... Oh no, there it goes. It is dropping and dropping and dropping and drop about the same. So the express train, with its higher power and lower tractive effort, matches the lower powered higher tractive effort. I guess that makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? Where it should change is once it gets mostly on the straight then. We still haven't proved, really, about grades, have we? Because the entire train, a bit of lag there, the entire train is not on the grade for its entire journey upward. How would we do that? You'd have to come off here somewhere and just have a straight grade all the way up and then down. So that the entire train is on it for a good length of time. That will be tricky. I guess we could curl up the mountain for an experiment. I mean, and maintain the grade. That might be an idea. We could do something as in coming out the back and just keep going up for a decent period and then come down. It's only temporary. So, yes. Right, here we go. It's flat to start with. So it's pulling away quite healthily. Decent speed. And then it's got a permanent highest grade or fixed grade that we have on here. While it's going up there, as you can see, it's got the run up. So it's got a little bit of momentum. I guess that's going to play a part as well. We'll check the track speeds. 60 is the top speed of the freight train. The rest of it, okay. We've got nowhere slower than 60, which is fine. Down here, we've finished the experiment, so that matters not. Okay, let's check on the train. This is the important part. Once the entire thing is on a maximum slope, what is going to happen? According to these figures, down here, the train should not have enough power and come to a grinding halt. But what is going to happen? It is losing speed. That is good to see, because we want those numbers to mean something. We're losing speed quite drastically. Well, not drastic, is it? No, it's gently going down. We're still on the straight down here. Goodness me, this train is long. Could have done this with a smaller train, perhaps. Well, no, you want to really go over the top, don't you? Well, no, we are. We're struggling, guys. Those numbers may be true, but there are lots of variables to take into consideration, such as the entire length of the train not being on a grade. So, good use. I've never seen, I'm going to interrupt myself, I've never seen one of these trains crawl to a halt. Oh, please do it. Please do it. It's still on the flat bit here. The slope doesn't stop until up here somewhere. There. I don't think it's going to make it. And those numbers do mean a lot. Very accurate. Has anybody ever seen a train crawl to a halt and not make it? I think we're about to. No, we're good. 10 kilometers an hour. That might be the minimum, perhaps. No, there we go. 9, 8. Okay, guys, we're down to 5 kilometers an hour, and we've found out quite a bit there. Tractive effort, huge part to play in climbs. This might stop. It does not have. Well, let's go over here, shall we? Not enough power, indeed. But in order to get this to happen, you have to have the entire length of the train on the grade, taking into consideration momentum as well. I am stunned, guys. This might actually just stop. Are you going to make it to us? We're sat on the bridge. Maybe in a year or two? Is 3 kilometers an hour the minimum, perhaps? I've never seen a train actually stall out. I believe that was Railway Empire. So what we gathered from this, not enough power will not stop your train. Otherwise, this should have stopped by now. It is not ideal, and you don't really want to do it. But it will not stall out. No, this seems to be the minimum speed. Okay, so I've let it play a bit longer, and it's still crawling up the hill. So it's never going to stop. It's never. If it was, it would have done so by now. So what we're going to do? Well, here's a fun little test. Here's a fun little test. I'm going to put this train back into the station, and then we'll come back in a second. It's obviously going to go downhill a lot faster than it came up. So there we go. In fact, it's probably not got the brakes for that. I'm going to change loco, and then we'll get to that same point, but we'll have a bit of either time lapse or editing just to see. I know, guys, I know it's a bit of a weird one, this one, but things I wanted to know, that is for sure. And you don't know unless you try. So let's get rid of this. We'll put this one on. There we go. Now we'll flip him around. He's got the other train on, the other loco. And we'll hit fast forward. Does he maintain more than 3 kilometers an hour? And there's your answer. The entire train is on the grade, and we're back at this magical 3 kilometers an hour. We can safely say that this does mean something and is fairly accurate, but not enough power doesn't mean you're going to stop. It means you're going to sit there at 3 kilometers an hour, and that's your lot. But yes, yeah, not ideal, but you can overload a train. None of the trains are obviously going to crawl to an absolute standstill. I think what we should do is just flip it around and send it the other way, and then we can demolish at least all the gubbins that I've created. Yes. And then we've got a bit of speed, a bit of a run up, although it will flip round at the station. Anyway, there it goes. We can delete all of this. We do not need this any longer. We won't get a refund, but it won't cost us to demolish it either. Alright guys, I have deleted the monstrosity that was the Crazy Tracks, and our train we're going to allow to go all the way and drop off this huge amount of coal. And there is a reason I'm going to allow it to do that. Not that we're going to have a train this long, no, we're going to have to split it into 2, because if we come down here, it's already full. Obviously, because we've been messing about for eternity. However, we're going to have 2 trains. It does say the frequency is currently 480, the rate I should say, and the frequency is 20 minutes. However, that is an estimation. We've pretty much confirmed, haven't we, that trains do not stop ever. So you can, if you like, overload them if you want to. No train is ever going to stall, so you're safe in that knowledge. That is not what I thought at all. Tractive effort does play a big part though, as it pretty much balanced the 2 trains out on grades. They did pretty much similar things. However, where you would gain with the Express is on the flat, I think, on the straights. This one takes 8 minutes. So if you flipped it to the Express, you would actually gain a lot more speed on the straight here. Which we could do right now, couldn't we? We could change them over. He's like, please just leave me with one locomotive. That'd be great. There we go. Modify. He should pick up speed a bit better now. On the straight. On the flat. Let's see. No! No, no, no. I was absolutely wrong. He takes 15 minutes. So there you go. There's your tractive effort. Pulling power is what it is. He really does struggle with that, doesn't he? And he's a lot more powerful. Well, I say a lot more. He's 200 kilowatts more powerful, but the tractive effort would really come into play there. Well, there we go. We'll put on the cheaper, less powerful, but has more pulling power train on there. Either that or these numbers are just changing every time I change the train. We get a refund. That's nice. How are you doing then? Details. Let's just double check that. 8 minutes, yeah. In fact, wow, that's impressive. That's impressive. So tractive effort plays a huge part if you're going to build trains like this. Which, why not? Why not? Not ideal, but why not? Right, let's go down here. We are going to do some actual upgrades to our network. It has been suggested that we have a loop here rather than our long trains flip round, which I agree with. Question is, where do we want it to turn round? I mean, here would be kind of nice, right? And then we can hug the mountain. We could go early and across the road. Yes, I kind of like that idea. If we went here, could we manage it? That is the question. If we kept it flat, can we get across here without it looking too disastrous? We can put a little bow in it. They're going to be empty coming around this way. There we go. We can have that one as well. Oh, that's pleasant, isn't it? Yeah. And then we can head this way. And we can probably make that a little better, couldn't we? Just there, this section. I would like this to go sooner. Keep that straight. And then flat. And then go into an embankment. Flat up here. And then we can branch into here somewhere. Like I said, this isn't how it's going to be. The long train, that is. We're not having that. It doesn't make much sense, as we won't be able to keep up with demand. We'll just have excessively long trains. We are electrified here. We do want electrified track, definitely. Well, I hope you got something from all that messing around and experimenting. What's another thing we want to do that I've been putting off forever? We've got plenty of money in the bank. This train's going to pay out as well. Ooh, you can't delete that, can you? Because of that. I see. If we delete that back, we can delete that. We're going to double track this. In order to do that, we're going to have to take all of this back, as it was not intended to be double tracked. So at the time we made this, we were also short on funds, and so it was imperative that we spent as little as possible. Let's get this double tracked. We can upgrade it to faster track if we want later on. We want to go along here. I mean, we could go with that, couldn't we? That kind of works for me. And then we come round like this, and we can keep a bit more speed this time. There we go. We'll have 95 kilometers an hour there, 95 there. We've finally got an upgraded modern double tracked bridge. There we go. So we got that there. This we can re-finagle. We're going to go in something a little straighter. And so we're going to come off like this. I don't want to lose too much speed, you see. So we're going to come off straight for the junction. 80 would absolutely be fine. If we can stay at least 8. Oh, we've got a little bit of stray track there. 90, we can get to 90. We want to keep that flat, don't we? If we bring that in there, as long as it doesn't look too bad. I mean, I like the junction a lot better. It's a faster junction. The question is it okay on the actual switch itself? Let's see. Oh, it's beautiful. Oh, it's not quite. Yeah, no, it's absolutely fine. We could change this section though and make it a little tidier. what I say we do then is have this bit flat, just here, and straight. And we need that to maintain a bit of speed, don't we? We might be able to get away with it if we knock that back a bit further. 80 there. And straight. Oh, it's awful grand. Yeah, this bit isn't straight at all, is it? Okay, I found a straight section. No, don't make a tunnel. That took some wiggling, I can tell you. Right, now you can come in here. Please don't adjust the track behind you. I mean, if it did, I would have just moved it along a little bit, but that's fine, that's fine. That will give us a bit of momentum now. And we can adjust this junction. This is going to be much better for the increased traffic we're going to get. All right, let's signal this up. It doesn't matter that trains may be longer than each of these blocks because they don't interfere with each other. But it's not going to be a huge issue for us. One there as well. There we go. We could technically have them halfway. We're going to have another one here. I would like some blocking that just keeps trains moving as well. So that would be there and there. Nice bit of double catenary there. And then we can actually have one here on the bridge there. We can have the other clearing one just here. Now we can have some extra blocking between these points to keep trains moving. One there and one there. I would imagine these would be more like distance signals than actual blocking signals, the way we're using them. But it should do the job, and I don't foresee any issues, he says. Right, there we go. Let's hit play. That should be pleasant now. We'll watch our giant train come crawling across here. Here's some tidying up that needs to be done. Let's do that. That's not how that should be. Official episode. There goes our passenger train. And we need to update these as well at some point. What I'll do is once he's paid off his monstrous amount here, let's go watch him go round. In fact, if we yeah, do that. I mean, he's just managing it, isn't he? Oh, do you know what I've not done? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Because he's currently monstrous, and perhaps in the future we may run with a slightly faster train. I don't think our track layout is going to allow for really big trains, the mountain ones anyway. But we can do something like that. We can remove that signal, and we can have a signal just here coming back onto the main line or branch line there, and that should be it. We don't need this here. Get rid of that. We won't need that any longer, and that signal is not required. And then what we can do is have two one-way signals here to force their hand and go round and use our new thing like that. What does that do for us? Where you going? Okay, that's not where you need to go. We're missing a crossover. That's fine, we can fix that. We can have a slip switch here, but we have the room to squeeze in a little crossover just there, which will obviously be less to maintain in the real world. There we go. Are we good? Is that everything? I think we've got everything here, haven't we? Yes. It's a bit messy. The only thing that's coming in here, I think, well, there's a few things, but they should avoid this snarl up that's going on. Right, what do we want on here? We don't want just a single signal, do we? We want to keep our trains moving. So we're going to have one there, and we're going to have one just after the bridge, because they shouldn't get in each other's way, regardless of what's going on, because there's this whole run-up section here to park trains into, and we only get onto this single piece of track. This is technically now both heading that way. This is not required, but we'll leave it in, remembering how it used to be. Right, let's get our train over here, shall we? We'll watch it go over this. There we go. It's a monstrous train. Oh, I love that clickety-clack sound as it's going by. There it goes. We are going to go and find out how much this monster's going to make us, and then we're going to put it back down to something a little better, and then duplicate it. Yep, they're separated. If we just check there, we've got the steel line and the coal line running in here, and then they merge back here, run down a single piece of track, and then out. I like this. I like this. It's kind of, it really is leaning to this entire area within the embankment there, and what will be a blocked off, I still haven't done that, will be a blocked off, what do you call them, viaduct. Right, let's click on this train, see how much money it's gonna make us. I mean, it's danced around a bit, so we can ignore all this. This is us playing, or me messing about with it. Okay, you get in there, and then we'll get you to something of a better size, shall we say. 14.7 million. Good night. Well, you're gonna fill this up, aren't you? Oh, it nearly ran dry. That's gonna change. I mean, it's taken a little while to unload. But what I would like to do now is have these electric, and I think we're fully electrified. Probably crocodiles for now. And obviously a lot shorter. We're not having them this short. I would like to build us a new train. We might as well. Do I want to... Yeah, that should keep the name, shouldn't it? I mean, we know it's Robbie. I think the Crocodile will suit as well. Although 75 kilometers an hour, it's a shame to slow down because we can do 80. However, from what we've just learned... Well, saying that, tractive effort is key, right? For what we're doing. And that's got both tractive effort and power. And it does go away. We could leave the crocodiles on the logging line for now. What are we talking on running costs? 1 million for that one. Well, we'll save ourselves $500,000 on a train. This is probably not needed. Perhaps we can get an upgraded freight version. We'll leave these for the mountain line. Even though if I was playing this as just a game, I'd probably go for that one. Because why not? Power. Anyway, let's put on the gondolas on the back here. I don't know what we're going to go for. We're going to make it quite long and carry a lot. Well, let's just go up to mediocre. There we go. We've still got the power. There we go. 0.5 kilometer. This is without the load on. We don't care about high, not enough power. We don't have any steep grades to worry about that the entire length of the train will be on. Should we do that? Let's do it. There we go. It's a little bit shorter now. It should hold its speed. It's got no issues. That's nice to see. We are going to need to quickly do something over here because 2 trains, we're going to have them waiting in here. We carry 392. What we want to do is have 2 trains, one loading and waiting while it's loading, and then the other one running off here. As such, I think what we need to do is have a little bit of a runoff that goes more direct, because if you look here, we've got a little valley thing that comes down, which might be ideal to have like an elongated loop. We head down where we don't need to curve, and then we head up on the gentle curve, short curve there, which means we are going to need to double track this from about this point here. I would say from about this point. Could we unwiggle some of this, especially this section? I think that's a little excessive. Coming out of the climb there, you don't really want it. And we were a little short on funds when we first did it. But if we do that and make it a really nice cutting, pay for the privilege as well, we keep a little bit of speed going both directions. That would make me happy. We'll keep this bridge section single track, I think. Or should we? Where should we head off? I mean, it looks like it starts heading down. I say single track there, and then we head off like... No, you see, that's not going to be pleasant, is it? Oh, unless we can just get it right. Well, that's steep. Maybe it is maximum grade. It might be. Oh, we'll get that in there because it kind of works. There we go. We don't want our train waiting up here, though, do we? No, this is begging to now be double tracked, I think. We'll get that back there. We might even be able to make this a little tidier. If we do something straight, would be nice. Like that. As long as we can still get into our our loop there without too much issues, because we are heading up here. That looks a little better, doesn't it? Should we just go for a one shot from here? See what that does. Oh, isn't that smoother? Oh, that's nice. That's now like a gentle grade. If we hold shift and M and N, we can just take that out a touch. There we go. There we go, guys. Pleasant. Right, and then our other one is going to branch off and head down like that. I don't know whether we have to head down quite so aggressively. We'll see. There we go. We got a little bridge there. We could have that, but I think this is going to suit us just fine. And what we need to do with this is similar to what we had when we were doing our experiment. Obviously, we don't want to head down. That'll be silly. We'll bring this round like that. Start heading up like this. It's pleasant, isn't it? It's pleasant. And then let's draw a line and see what it does. Oh, do you know? I like that. This is the modern section, isn't it? Definitely. We can even just tidy that up a little bit around here. And this is screaming out eventually to be a giant coal yard. And then we'll call it, I think. I feel like I've learned a lot today. I hope you guys have. I don't know what made me do that, but I did it anyway. I don't like what you're doing there. I don't like that, really. Don't know how we can get rid of that. Oh, there we go. If we keep dropping it down next to it. A bit of a shame because I like the cliffside. If we raise it up, will that help? No, not at all. It makes it way worse. I don't know what you're doing there, game. It's fun, shall we say. Could we lower it then? Oh, there we go. Got rid of it. Oh, that's nice. Oh yeah, there we go. That's better, isn't it? Nice. So you can lower it. All right, let's just take the edge off some of that. Make it look a little bit like it's supposed to be there. We've got the same thing going on here. Again, if we just lower that section there. Beautiful. Now, in fact, could we just like flatten it like that and make a bit of a thing going on around here? Oh, I like it. There we go, like that. And maybe just get a little bit of paint tools. Bit of, no, see, that's huge. Undo that, please. Watch what size brush you got, man. Take the strength down. Take the brush size down. We'll have something here at some point. You're deleting. Maybe a little shed of some sort. But anyway, that's lovely. Here comes our new train. Ooh, what have you done? You ruined it. Just level that out. I ruined it, guys. Almost. Almost. Not quite. There we go. Like that. That's better. Tidier. That's impressive, actually. I like that. This is Robbie now. He's an electric crocodile. Robbie the electric crocodile. Yep. That's a cartoon. Now, which way are you going to go? Oh, you go both that way. Understandable. We kind of don't want you to do that, though. We'd like you to do something like this. We'll have a one-way signal there. There we go. That should sort you out. And up here, we'll have a one-way signal there. And then just here... Oh, we could have a bit of blocking. I don't know. It's not needed, Grant. We'll have another one-way signal there to force the route. Otherwise, it'll still do it. There we go. There we go. So we come up at the spiral gently. And then we fly down the hill here. Well, we don't fly down the hill. We go at 75 kilometers an hour. And then into the station. And then what we'll do is we'll have 2 of these trains. And I think we can do that now. Now that he's coming in here, we are going to duplicate him. And we'll call that an episode, I think. And we'll take a ride on this one. Hopefully we can get away with this, which means we need another coal train, don't we? Which will be John Coltrane. So there we go. Manage vehicles. We'll duplicate you. There we go. And we'll call you John. John Coltrane. We have another coal train or 2 to add, so we'll add those as well. Thank you for that suggestion, by the way. Right, he's coming out the depot and on his way. We'll check on the rates. We do want it above, not meeting it, because we want our trains to sit in here. That's what it's saying currently. I would argue that's probably not the case. Should we get on board? Alright guys, that's been an interesting episode, I hope. One of fact-finding, proving a few things with 2 locos that are similarly powered when you combine both power and tractive effort, except one was very much cheaper to run. There's a lot of scope, isn't there, for picking the right train for the right line. For something like this, where we are limited by track speed in a lot of places, the express wouldn't make a lot of sense. We've also got a lot of grade changes as well, where we've seen actually we found out that the tractive effort played a huge part on the flat as well, didn't it? Yeah, because when you overload a train, I guess it's just amplified, you would notice something similar with smaller trains as well. So yeah, tractive effort for your freight needs. Obviously you want the express trains for your passenger services because of their top speed and power, and they shouldn't be carrying such a heavy load either. So there we go, something to bear in mind for your future planning. I like that a lot, because it means that those freight trains that I used to, when I first started playing this, I used to ignore them a little bit. I'm like, it's slow, I don't understand, look at this nice powerful express, I'll stick it on everything. That's not ideal at all, is it? Not at all. I mean, if you've got a long straight stretch with your full downhill and empty uphill, that's express territory. You could get away with that. I mean, it's not going to do a terrible job if you did just want to have a pretty train on your freight lines. I can see us. We almost went over ourselves. We're going to adjust this a little bit. I might need to tidy that little divot up there as we connected. Well, that's not too bad, is it? That's just where we connected our new layout with our old one and our existing one. We didn't get rid of our helixy thing. Our bridge is still in there. It's now double tracked. Everything's looking a bit pleasant out here. Now we've got lots of detailing to do around the map, haven't we? Goodness me, I'm looking forward to that. Right guys, I think that's been an episode. I'll leave you just with a little bit of a train ride along this section and down, and we'll get back to normality next time out, where we'll be extending and checking the passenger situation over at Brig. We'll remember that. And I've put signals in, so we don't have to worry about that. We can start getting freight trains running down there as well, and then see where we go after that. Probably more passenger lines and freight lines extended either up to Sion or, well, Wisp first for the big tunnel that we've got to do, or heading this way past this section into Toon. Lots to do. Thanks for watching guys, and until next time, take care.